Good morning. Good morning, everybody. And I guess we're on another holiday. Holy smokes. Just saying, Wall Street has got to be the laziest. I tell you, these guys, and the thing of it is, I don't have a problem with the holidays. I don't. It's just that they stretch them out, right? I mean, they'll take the rest of the week off. Then they will stretch in from one holiday to the next. Next thing you know, they take off the whole month, the whole summer. Man alive, these guys got the life of Riley. But we're working. The futures are open. The banks don't leave their money alone, and we're trading. You're watching. You're watching one of our newest programs, SMC Stock Market Caddy Swing Machine Plus Cubed, running one NQ contract on a 135 configuration with exits. You know, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. It's doing a beautiful little thing. We did have, unfortunately, we'd be up a couple $100 more. We had a little glitch overnight, in that my computer was backing up and I missed an order, and it cost me a couple hundred. But she's doing its thing. Everything that you see on this screen, everything that you see is automated with the exception of this little box here, this writing here, and then be sure to visit our website. Everything else is completely automated. Swing machine is automated. The chart is automated. This speaking to you in English, I'm not going to get into what it means and how to do it, but boy, I got to tell you that, you watch this for a week or two, and your trading is going to get really, really good. And but it's completely automated and the trading is automated. Now I could go up and take that $175 and put it in our pocket, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let the machine run. We're going to let you watch. And I don't know when the futures close. They might close midday for a couple of hours and then be back open tonight. But crazy, crazy. I tell you, we got more holidays than Carter has liver pills. This is an old saying for you. Any questions? Be sure to visit the website. Send us a question or two. You're welcome to call us. I'm working any day, weekends, holidays, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You're welcome to call, and we'll be here. Enjoy. We'll let you. It's going to be a slow day, but we'll let you watch. And I'm going to be in and out. And I've got to step out with Ted right now. And then if there are any questions, I'll be back. Thanks. Enjoy. Well, the markets are actually closed, but I'm in the office. I'm working. You working? Wall Street. Oh my goodness. They'll probably, like I say, they'll probably take the whole month off. Hey, the futures are open. Very, very light little trading. Very not much going on. Probably going to close around 1 o'clock is my guess. I'm guessing. The public stock markets are closed. I believe the banks are closed. So but we're here. We're getting some things done. If you want to visit our website, you want to give us a call, great day to call because things aren't that busy. The strategy, everything you see on the screen is automated, everything with the exception of, be sure to visit our website and this little description here. And that trade is in. And that trade, I did not put in, the machine put it in because it's programmed. And the machine is monitoring, excuse me, 3 different time frames. I can just give you a little glimpse here. We come to data, edit symbol, and you can see data 1, data 2, data 3. Here's the NASDAQ in here. NASDAQ, you're seeing the 1 minute, but also there's a second data stream and a third data stream. Makes it very, very powerful. And that algo is crunching the data of all 3 time frames. Isn't that pretty cool? But we'll see if she can squeeze a little something out of it. I'm not doing, setting the world on fire. We had opportunities to scalp it. We opted not to. We're just going to let it run, do its thing. It has a specific criteria to come in, and it has probably 4 or 5 different criteria to come out, right? Which is what it's doing. We're going to be testing later this week. We're working on on yet another program, and this one's going to have variations too. We're really just been in a sweet spot here. We have something that we is going to be truly a really sweet high frequency trading program, and another HFT. And we've had a couple of others, but this one's going to be really, really sweet. And the testing shows a whole lot of promise. We ran it in the background last night, overnight, and it did pretty well. So we'll keep you posted on that. And that would be that'll roll out to our, if it passes muster initially, we'll also get that out to our annual members probably this time next week. But all of our annual members now have this particular program that we call SMC Swing Machine Plus Cubed. And as a beta, excuse me, as a beta strategy. And there's already a lot, we wanted to get this out, but there's a lot of things that we see in here, embedded in here, that we're going to be able to do. Not the least of which will be to add in another filter, which would be of the VIX. So if the VIX is in the right position, take the trades, don't take the trades, that sort of thing. What makes this very powerful is also the ability to back test and get an idea. So the market is pretty boring right now. Pretty boring. Nobody around. Leave it to Wall Street. I tell you what, they are the laziest group of workers. I tell you, they don't start until 9:30. They quit at 4. They take, the whole month of August off. They anytime there's a holiday weekend, I don't mind the holiday, but they'll take the whole week off. They'll take the week before off. They'll take the week after off. Get to work. you can see we're in this trade. We're off by one tick, by one tick. So when Swing Machine went short here on the 1 minute and was in the direction of the 3 and the 5, the machine took the trade. Now, this is where Swing Machine get in, which is perfect. And then in a live environment, we might get that trade, or we might be off by a tick or two. Usually we're right on top of it. So it's off by, you can tell by the amount of money here that we're off by a tick or two. But it has it. Now, the writing that's on the screen here, I just want, you see this, you might favor the short side, distribution underway. These are algos within algos, and they're talking to us in English, and they're telling us, or they're telling our members, if they're trading this and they're trading it manually, mechanically, then we have these little programs that'll speak to them in English and tell them and show them, some various additional information, right? So there's no need for interpretation of, moving averages and MACDs and a lot of that crap. We just, the algos tell us, and they're very, very sophisticated, and they're very, very good. Now, we won't run the newest, the high frequency trader. We will run it live for our members, but we won't run it live for a while on YouTube because it's so brand new. But it really, even as choppy and as sloppy as this market's been, last night, if you had been running this program, the high frequency it's new, would have done $900, profit factor of 1.63. It is really going to be something. It looks really, really good to us. It's real active. And she took a cover. I'll just mention, if anyone has any questions on, again, who we are, what we're about, and how and why we set things up. This has happened on occasion. But I'll point to it, and there's no problem with this. But we did have a person that, and it has happened in the past a couple of times, that kind of probably didn't fully appreciate. And I'll use it as a teaching moment to explain who we are and why we do what we do. He sent us, which was very nice, a membership for the annual membership. He's a monthly member, and he sent us the annual membership of some $4,000. We contacted him, and I returned the funds, the $4,000, because what he may not have appreciated, and I'll just use this again as a teaching moment. We do require everybody to go through what we call a Q school initially, at least once, a one time. It's really a one time. And we've been told, and it slows the process down, it retards the process down. We could certainly have more members, and if we just let people sign up as an annual. um the reason why we have the Q school, and it's 3+ weeks, we say 3+ because we work around someone's schedule. It might stretch to 4, and we got another order there. We really want to take the time with a person. The annual membership is a big step. So the Q School is an interim step. It's an opportunity to see what we're about, what these tools are, and to be certain, to be sure that you do in fact want to become an annual member following the Q School. So that's a little bit different probably than what most people are doing. We're not trying to put the bum's rush on anybody. The process is slowed down, and it's slowed down for a reason. If you think about it, we're trying to give everybody good insights again to who we are, what we're doing, and an opportunity to say, no, this isn't for me. This isn't what I want to do. So I just mention that, and it's happened, and I get it. We try to explain it, so maybe a little bit cumbersome. It certainly would be, it would be much quicker, and probably say we'd have more members if we just had a monthly and no Q school and just an annual. But we slow it down for a reason, and it seems to work best. And I think it does. I think it does for the folks that choose to do it and then become members. I think it works best. So it's a one-time thing, because there are so many things that we have so many programs and so much, truly. And if somebody was to sign up with an annual, we just start sending everything, they presumably they have a trade station, just gonna have a whole ton of questions, and just it wouldn't be fair. It just wouldn't be. Person would be all over the map. And so we'd rather, spend, before you become an annual member, 3-4 weeks with you, showing you everything. If you have trade station, you don't have to have trade station, but if you have trade station, we can send you a program or two, which would be good. You get a chance to get a file, see what it's about, and we really kind of control the process a little bit. And there are things that are going to happen in a live environment during those few weeks. A lot of things, not just one thing, but a lot of things that is going to help you down the road, right? If we can be pointing things out to you, not minute by minute, not tick for tick, but on a daily basis. And so I do think that's a lot different than what others might be doing, right? So it's definitely a slowed down process, and we do it. for a very specific reason. We think it's the responsible thing to do. So, any case, just a little FYI. Any questions here today? We'll be here. We're working on some other things, and I think the futures markets are going to be open probably until about 1. I haven't even checked, and I was actually shocked. I forgot. Today was I knew it was a holiday, but I did not know that the stock market would be closed. There's some holidays that it isn't, but the public stocks are closed, so it's going to be pretty quiet. But then the futures will open back up tonight, and we'll be rocking and rolling again. I suppose too, which is good. I suppose there is a business risk, but we don't see it as such, right? Um, that's why, it's been said, but I don't, in that a person might go through the Q school and then choose not to be an annual member, right? And you might say, well, geez, you're not taking a chance there. Yeah, we are. We are, but and for the most part, just about everybody does. And we've had one or two that haven't, and it's good. It works out. The way we look at it is that if a person goes through the Q school after 3+ weeks and they decide not to become an annual member, they're making the very best decision, one way or the other. They're making the very best decision. They've made a big commitment, 3-4 weeks, and the cost of the Q school. They want to make the very best decision for themselves. And if they do, that is the best decision for us. It just is. We did have 2 people that I can recall that didn't go on to become an annual. One person was unfortunate because he did really well. He did do well. He was here in Florida, and very nice guy. And he didn't have to do any programming, but he didn't like the computer. And he told us that up front. He did. And I said, well, we're going to find out. And at the end of the Q school, he still said the same thing. Don, I just hate the computer. He did, and so I'm like, okay, but you did good. We stayed with him, and his level was like just copying and pasting. So he just hated the computer. And I'm like, well, then if you hate the computer, then maybe you shouldn't do it. And ultimately he ended up calling us back a week or 2 later and wanted, I'm like, no, stay, maybe you can trade with what we taught you. And he just didn't like a computer. And you don't have to do any programming, but you do have to be adept at using a computer, and I think comfortable with it. It's funny, some of the traders coming out of Chicago that have been displaced because of the digital age, are also at a disadvantage as well, because they don't understand what we can do with the computer. And these programs are AI. I mean, that's the buzzword today, AI, right? They have been AI for years. But and then the other person, I don't know what happened. I honestly don't know. He signed up for the Q school for a week, 2 weeks, and then it got to be the 3rd week and he just disappeared on us. We like to be in contact with everybody every day if we can. We're flexible for about at least an hour. He just disappeared, and I got worried, and I thought maybe he got hurt or got sick or something happened, and I didn't hear from him on the 3rd week. It got to be Thursday, and then he showed up. But so I don't know what happened with that gentleman, and I have my suspicions that he was I think he was in a bad place in his trading, I think, before he came to us, which can happen. and he was eager and anxious to try to make it all back like in a week or two, and he may have been under like huge stress to do so, or something wasn't quite right. And so in that instance too, he made the best decision for him, and I think it was probably the best. You have to be there's so many different intangibles as we chat with you on a slow day. I think you have to be a curious person, have to have some patience, discipline. You have to have some risk capital, and you have to have some time. And you can't play with scared money, and you can't try to force it. Those guys who played really well in the U.S. Open, um, they you can't be trying to force a shot or force the ball. Even in today's market, what we're watching here, I mean, the market's barely moving. The machine is going to do what it's going to do. We're okay. I could run up there and just grab that $100. We get up to 300. I might do that just to flatten us out a little. But that's a little bit about what we are. We got so much we're working on though. And during the course of the year, as an annual member, we will introduce new things, update things. There's no cost on that. We will just keep doing that. And if you have ideas, so we have members that have been watching some of our, a number of our things, and they'll come back and say, what if we did this? What if we did that? And we will do our level best to program those things and to vet them and test them and make them available, provided it's within our skill set. The only caveat to that is I don't have a deadline, right? We won't charge you to do that. If it's something really novel and really promising, though, it's in our interest to rush ahead and get it done. And we're doing a lot of different things, so sometimes we get a little distracted. This particular strategy that's running that we call Cubed, we've made a number of runs at this. There's some technical issues here in doing this. And we have a member, a longstanding member, and I'm glad he did. He kept at it with me and Susie as well. And Don, can we revisit it? Can we revisit it a little? Can we, and I'm like, yep, we can. And so we have made a number of runs at this, and we finally had a programming breakthrough, really. To get this to do what this thing is doing. It is really, really good. And for that, I'm grateful, because I don't know if we would have gone, well, in fact, we probably wouldn't have gone here. So when our members are asking us for something and want to do something, we're very receptive to wanting to do it, because it just is in everybody's interest, including our own. So to that extent, it's really, really a neat thing. And what we'll do is, the way it works is we'll develop a program, and including this one, but this one holds so much promise and is so central to everything else that we're doing. We got it out to everybody. Usually we have like a little beta group. So this particular program is called SMC Swing Machine Plus, which is what it is. It's cubed because it's running multiple time frames. And we are calling it a beta strategy. Usually it would just go out to a beta group, but we got it out to everybody. And then when we do send out beta strategies, though, it'll go out to a beta group and everyone will work with it. It could be for a few weeks, could be for a few months. And if it passes muster, meaning everyone's like, hey, maybe we make some changes to it, and everyone, for the most part, likes it, we will add it into our library and then send it out to everybody. If it doesn't pass muster, then we'll just keep it as a beta, and it won't go out, And we have members that say that, they'd like to be part of a beta group. There's no cost to do it, but they just don't have the time. They just don't have the time, to do it. And this is totally fine, but they're not going to pay a penalty at all. When we get the thing worked out, it will go out to everybody. When we program files for people too, that's the other part, no deadline. We will do the same thing with a beta strategy, and so that there's no cost, but it will go into the library and be available for everybody, right? So it works out for everyone. So we don't hold back. Um, we make videos on anything and everything. We're always telling our members, you ever see anything, you ever hear us talking about anything that you don't have or don't think you have, you just let us know and we will send it to you. Now we do have this high frequency is going to be something new. Um, we haven't shown our members it at all, and we've been working on it, and it's truly, we have something called HFT1 and HFT2. This could be, I don't know, it's going to be, may not be HFT3. It's going to have its own class. It's really, I think, going to be exceptional, really, really good. We'll be running that. I wanted to run it a little bit today, but we just don't have any movement in the market, so we'll start later this week, and that'll be something that if it looks good right now, the back testing looks very good. We also run it through something called a forward tested trade station. So when we do a back test, and you can't do this with all charts, but when we run a back test, we can take these thousands and thousands of tests that are in a file, and we can drop the file into something called a walk forward optimizer at TradeStation. Think of it as a randomizer. It randomizes the data, and it'll tell us a whole bunch of things. Okay, and she just covered the trade. It'll tell us how robust the strategy is and whether or not it's likely to make money or not make money. It'll also tell us, to give you an idea of the detail we can get, we can find out what days are better, what time of the day is better. It's really crazy. It's maybe an underutilized tool at TradeStation. They don't talk about it much at all. We think it's very, very good. And so that tool we did run through it's beautiful, especially on time bars. And so it's holding, this new high frequency program that we will be running, says that it should be very, very good, exceptionally good. So we have high hopes for it. So if members are hearing this, there'll be, there'll be something. It'll be Christmas in June, late June, July. That'll be a beautiful thing. And last night, as crappy as this little market is right now, that high frequency is up about 900, $1,000. So hopefully it performs. And then if it does, it'll go out to the beta group. Beta group gives it its blessing after a few weeks or whatever time it needs, goes into the library, and then goes out to everybody. That's the idea. We're now up to somewhere between 65 and 70 proprietary tools, trading tools. Any questions, let us know. just to let everyone know at YouTube, this is a holiday. And so the futures are open, the stock market isn't. So the movement in the market is pretty lousy. We're going to stay on YouTube. We'll keep it up until about noon. It's your opportunity to ask questions, and we're never coming on to try to demonstrate an outcome. We just come on to create a little awareness of who we are, what we're about, give you a little idea, and to give you a chance to ask any questions you might. But so we'll need to turn down at about noon, and then the markets will open up tonight. Well, yeah, they'll close probably about 1. The futures markets then open up tonight, and we'll be rocking and rolling for the week. Any questions, give us a shout. Otherwise, we may not see you during the week, other than maybe during I'm not sure what days, but look for, somewhere between 11 and 11 a.m., 12 noon, thereabouts. We might come on live for a little bit, 40 minutes or an hour. Now, our other program, let me just give you some idea. This one is called, it's going to be a high frequency program. Yeah, this thing is really going to be something really, really good, shockingly good, because this is a crappy little market. But since midnight, it has done $1,190 on its chart. We don't have the trades going in, but that's a valid performance. Pretty darn good. This is I don't know if I can show you. Yeah, this is going to be the equity graph that we're going to be looking to produce on the new program. That's what we're going to be looking. This is over just a couple of weeks. So the question is, can we do this or better? And can we do half? The walk forward optimizer tells us that we're going to do that. That'd be a beautiful thing. Now you can trade swing machine visually, right? Swing machine, you can trade it visually. So if 5 minutes ago you took it long, yeah, you'd be up $40, $50. And you might be saying, oh, it's green, and yeah, it's perfectly matched. The paint bar is matching exactly what's on here on the 1 minute. It's just that, and we can program it to trade. Maybe you just want to trade it on the 1 minute or the 2 minute or but this particular program is cubed. It's trading all 3 time frames. It's trading the 1 minute, but it is making decisions based on all 3 time frames, right? So that's just something that we're working on. But if you had taken this long, yeah, sure, you'd be up $65, $70. Which is a beautiful thing, right? And it maybe on a day like today, that's going to be really soft and easy and just kind of choppy. You just go in and make $70, $100, 70, $100. But that's what's going on here. Swing machine plus, there's a lot. The decision to go in and out is here, but this is the trend information, and then this tells us where we are in the field. And all of these are very powerful tools in and of themselves, and can be traded in and of themselves. And you can certainly change time frames. As an example, we've done this in the past. We changed this to a daily view, and if you had taken the NQ long on a daily 69 days ago, yep, on one mini contract, you're up $55,000. Thank you very much. At 12,466. It's never looked back. That crazy? Now, the likelihood that a new trader is going to put on a trade like that and ride it that long is probably slim and none, because a new trader, like a new pilot, is going to react physically, mentally to the fear and greed, right? That's why pilots train and train and train and train, right? Because they when the shit hits the fan, or in a good way, whatever, they need to keep their head about them. They're operating a pretty sophisticated piece of equipment, and they're got a lot on the line. They've got to keep their head about them. As a trader, you got to do the same thing. You really do. Now, the Twitter sphere is or these other, the Robin Hooders. I mean, then it's lunacy out there, but that's not what we're doing. Probably, could it get through here? It could, could punch through, right? So if you took this trade 8 minutes ago, as an example, if you did take it, yeah, you're up 85, 90, had a chance to make $100. Yeah, you could have done that. We could have programmed the machine to do that. It's not what we're doing here now, but you could have. Once again, we want to say thank you for everyone coming by on YouTube. We really do appreciate it. We know you're all out there working hard, trying to get done, for yourself and for your family. We've been doing this a long time. We haven't been doing this for 6 months or 6 years. We've been doing this a long time. And we're happy to share with you our approach. And, you're welcome to visit the site. You're welcome to call. And it's entirely up to you. You can start or you can stop, as the saying goes. And but we do wish you the best. And at noon, just want you to know that we've got to turn down the YouTube, and so today's little session will come to an end. We'll try during the week to give you a glimpse of what we're doing. We're going to try to do this during the summer months. Look for us for like around 11 o'clock or noon, thereabouts, for about an hour or so, 45 minutes to an hour. We'll try to show you some things on what we're up to, what we're doing. Of course, our annual members have we have, whenever we're working, which is all the time when the markets open, we have a live Zoom feed, and they have everything on their desktop, so it's not like they need to patch in, but they can patch in and reach us just about 24/7 for whatever they might need. And they're all got this beta version of the Swing Machine Plus Cubed. They all got a copy this past weekend, so they're all hopefully going to be working with that. We invite them to go slow, and it'll be interesting, there, because we haven't run it on all the markets, and we started just to do a little testing ourselves. We look at the back test that the 135 may not be the best time configuration. We were actually looking at 345, really tight, but at 345 had a really nice. Maybe somebody else wants to run it on a 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour view, really slow it down and do it with a micro or reduce the margin. Maybe somebody else wants to do it on a daily, weekly, monthly. I mean, that would be pretty easy to do. Be very slow, but boy, you would get quite a view. In fact, if you had done that, let me just show you as an example. Let me go to Swing Machine daily, weekly, monthly. Oh, you can't see it there. Let me show you. Let me just take this off. Why is that? Not sure why that's blacked out. Let's give you a view here. It's kind of weird. I don't know why that's Zoom. That's not, I think. Oh, you know what it is? I probably put in the continuous contract at NQ. There it is. All right. So I'll put in the NQ. So if you had set this up, when you got the signal to go daily long 69 days ago on the cubed, it would have said, yeah, you got to go. You got to go. Why? Because the weekly is long, right? The weekly is long from, way back. Let's see here. That doesn't, that's no. Let's put this on the continuous contract. We're getting a goofy read there. Oops, bear with me. We'll put this on a continuous contract. Oops, let's try that again. I'm sorry. At NQ. This NQ is a new contract. So let's look at this. So what would have happened? We can deduce this on, well, this has been long. This is crazy. This has been long since 2010 on a monthly for the investor. The weekly went long on the 31st. So the daily went long on the 14th. So this signal would have been recognized as a counter trade. Person could have taken it or they could have waved it off. But 2 weeks later on the 31st, it still would have been long, and the weekly was going along in the direction of the monthly. You got to go long, and you would be up. You can deduce you'd be up not 55 grand, but 35. If you took it as a counter and then just stayed with the trade, yeah, you're up 55 if you have one mini contract. If you have a micro, you're up 5,000. If you got 10 minis, and these people have hundreds, thousands of these things, but if you had 10 of them, you're up $500,000 in 69 days. That works. Crazy, right? All right, so we're going to put this back though, and then have to sign down. We can do this all day, every day, woulda, coulda, shoulda, and all of that. We're doing it. Susan's doing it. Our members are doing it. Question is, what are you doing? If you're doing something specific and you're getting it done, I'm the first one to say, just keep doing it. If you're doing something and you're not getting it done, and you're wasting time and you're wasting money, the first thing you need to do is just stop. Look, listen, think about it. Consider other things that are out there. Here, there is going to be a learning process. You're going to need to learn. You're going to have to get some books, some notebooks, and you're going to you're going to work hard. I'm going to work as hard, but it isn't a question of just, signing up and, we send you a bunch of robots and you just, plug them in. It's going to print money. You're going to have to, apply. We're going to say good afternoon and have a wonderful rest of the long weekend, and reach out anytime. Thanks though. And if you took this trade on the 1 minute, 24, yeah, you're up 170 and looks like it's going, and kind of break out of here a little bit. They might squeeze it here into the last hour or so. I think the futures will close at 1, I would think. Maybe not, but good luck, everybody.